Welcome to Caffeinated Flicks,
where we drink coffee and celebrate diverse directors.
I'm Celeste.
And I'm Kenzie. Hi, Celeste.
Hello.
So you want to know something funny that my dad asked me the other day?
What?
So he's like, I noticed that Celeste doesn't ever interrupt you whenever you go and you do your singing thing. Does she mind that you sing like every other song?
No, it's encouraged. It's just like additional entertainment on here.
I told him, I was like, she's known me long enough. This is just how I am in regular life.
Right? And also, like, side note, that would be rude. Like, every time someone sings, like, could you not? Like, if you could not do that, it would be great.
You would be shocked.
Right?
Mostly.
Wait, people actually do that to you?
Not so much, but my brother has.
Oh, I can see that. Like, brothers, yeah. I mean, I don't have any, but I could imagine.
That is the joy of you not having siblings at all. So,
I like
but you do have cousins who are kind of like siblings. So,
yeah, but it's nice because we've never lived under the same roof. So
yeah.
I get to enjoy them just for briefly, and then we go back to our homes.
But yeah. So yeah, how's your week been?
Oh, so I saw Barbie this past weekend. I loved it so much. I mean, my mom and I were worried because it had so much marketing and it was like super hyped up that I'm like, oh no, like, you know, when like a movie's like super duper hyped, sometimes it doesn't live up to your standards, but oh my God, I loved it.
Oh,
it was so perfect. Yes.
Yeah. I met up with Beth last night for dinner, and she told me that her and her family went and saw it, and they all really loved it too. And so speaking of Morgan, we were thinking about trying to figure out when we want to go see it and making plans with our other brother too. And so figuring out when we want to do that. But of course, Brant doesn't come back until the 7th of August, but he doesn't get in until almost midnight. So almost the 8th of August, honestly.
Oh gosh. Where is he?
He's in Rhode Island. He's visiting his dad. Yeah.
Oh, fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yay. I was going to say, I'm like, because I know you don't really go to the movies often. I was going to say, like, you need to go watch it. And I was gonna like, oh, like, if you need someone to go with, I wouldn't mind watching it again.
Like, I can drag you along too.
I was like, I even messaged my little cousins. I'm like, so have you guys watched the Barbie movie yet? They're like, we already have plans to go watch it. I'm like, okay.
I mean, if Richard can watch Top Gun Maverick 8 times in theaters.
Are you serious?
Yes. I am dead serious.
Holy shit. How much is that? How much money did he spend on Top Gun?
I don't know. Enough. But that's okay.
Dang. That's a hardcore fan right there. That is like...
Yeah. He could not wait until it came out on streaming. And ever since then, he's watched it probably another 20 times. It is his all-time favorite movie now, followed by Top Gun, close on its heels. Like, it is his favorite movie. But if he can watch it 8 times, you are well within the realm to be able to watch the Barbie movie 3 or 4 times in theaters.
Right? It's not just because I love it. I just like want it to do super well in the box office.
Oh, it has. It has. Outranked.
It's done amazing.
I'm pretty sure that Barbie like outranked Oppenheimer like 3 times.
At least double. Yeah. I mean, which doesn't surprise me because Oppenheimer is not really a family movie. It's like a specific target audience. But
for sure.
I highly doubt that movie passed the Bechdel test.
Probably not. And I'm pretty sure. So from what I understand of Oppenheimer, because NPR, their science podcast, they talk to the actual like scientists who do science on nuclear fusion and maintain different pieces of nuclear weaponry to make sure that if needed, it will be able to be deployed, but they hope that that never ever happens. But they brought in some of those scientists onto the set of Oppenheimer.
Oh,
and yeah, so that was really cool. But in that process, of course, the women who were brought on were relegated only as wives, and they didn't have anything to do really on the set. Like, they weren't really given like lines or roles really beyond like wife.
Doesn't surprise me.
I know. So surprising.
I know, right? Shocker. All right. How was your week? Anything happened this week for you?
Oh, it's just been so busy. I went to the dentist. I saw my dad and my brother, and I saw my nephew. So that's positive.
That's
yeah. I'm hoping that at some point in time he will eventually recognize who I am.
He never recognizes you?
No.
Aw.
He doesn't see me that often, so he doesn't know who I am yet, really.
Oh, okay.
But he likes my bracelets. He likes my bracelets a whole lot. He wants to break them.
Wait, this is the nephew you babysit, right?
No, that's my cousin's.
Oh, that's your cousin. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh, this is your. Okay.
Yep.
I said, well, yeah, that's a baby. So that makes sense. So he doesn't recognize you. I'm thinking of like the toddler that's like a child now, and I'm like,
yeah. No, I'm his favorite person ever. Like,
okay, good. Yeah.
The second he sees me, he runs to me. He says, Kenzie. Like,
Aww.
he loves me to bits and
That's so
pieces.
sweet.
Like, I'm his favorite person.
You're like, not to brag, but.
Right, exactly. Like, the second that I pick him up from daycare, he's telling all of the teachers and all of his friends that I'm Kenzie. Like, he's so excited. Like, it's so funny.
I love it.
He loves to cuddle with me. It is the best part of babysitting him. Not so great when he doesn't want to listen, of course, but I do like the cuddles.
Yeah. It makes up. It balances out.
Enough. You know.
I hope.
The best part is when he goes to bed. But yeah, so I got to see my nephew. Got to spend a little bit of time with my sibling-in-law. I did trivia, and then I got to spend time with Beth, which I haven't seen Beth in a couple of weeks. So that was really, really great. So we spent a couple of hours, because anytime that we don't see each other, it's like we have to spend at least an hour together sitting at a restaurant for every week that we don't see each other.
To make up for lost time.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, that's pretty much been my week. Although I've had like this horrendous migraine all week too. So it's been like on and off. So I think it's the weather.
Oh my God. Yeah, the storm last night.
See, and I heard about it. I did not wake up at all.
It woke me up in the middle of the night because I heard our outdoor umbrella. I didn't know there was a storm coming, so I did not prepare anything outside, and we had a bunch of crap. And I literally heard our outdoor umbrella fall over, and like we have the lounge chairs out there, and I was like, something happened, but I was too tired, so I went back to bed. And then Billy woke up early to go to the backyard, and he's like, yeah, the umbrella fell over, and then there was a lounge chair in the pool, and then our backyard was destroyed. And then like when our tables fell over, like a bunch of crap. Yeah. It effed up my backyard.
Well, that's exciting.
It is very exciting. Sure.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I heard that there was
more funny.
A tornado in Glendale or something.
I'm sorry, what?
I know. I'm very confused. I don't think we're in Kansas anymore, Dorothy.
At this point, nothing surprises me. I wouldn't be surprised if we had earthquakes. I wouldn't be surprised if we had tsunamis somehow. Some like
Lake Pleasant
tsunamis. Is that a thing? I don't think so, but it's gonna be a thing, I'm sure, one day.
Right. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
And nobody's gonna be fazed by it.
No.
It's gonna happen. Everybody's like, whatever.
Everybody's gonna have their emergency packs. And they're gonna be like, all right, let's go.
I'm ready. Let's do this shit.
They're gonna have like a Bowie knife in their teeth, and they're just gonna be like, all right, let's go.
Ready. We're gonna rip our pants into shorts, into jorts. Everywhere's gonna be in tank tops and like army jackets. We're all gonna be in the same attire.
Yep. I feel like we should watch Waterworld and The Day After Tomorrow and a couple other disaster movies to prepare for it. Yes. So after our Lord of the Rings marathon on Saturday,
yes,
we're going to have a disaster movie marathon.
Yep. A survival marathon, yes. Survival movie marathon.
As we pack our emergency packs, this will be great.
We need it. Mm-hmm. I keep meaning to buy excess water at the store. But every time we walk by, I'm like, we'll do it later. We'll do it later.
I feel like really excess water is so weird, especially in plastic bottles, because you know how like if water in plastic bottles gets old, like the plastic deteriorates in the water and then it tastes weird. And then of course, like you're never quite sure. And I know that we're going down like a weird rabbit hole of like microplastics and like how much water is already in the water or how much microplastics is already in the water and so on and so forth. But it's like, I don't know how safe keeping in plastic is for a long extended periods of time. Like how you need to like keep a date on it and like FIFO it out, first in, first out.
Isn't it fine like as long as it's kept like at a decent temperature or no? And also like if that is the case, would filtering it like those filter pitchers that you have, does that make a difference when it comes to plastic in your water?
I think this is all research that we should do.
Yeah. Questions we need answered.
The more you know.
Right. Alrighty, let's go ahead. What are you drinking today, Kenzie? Or what did you drink?
So right now, for this very episode, I decided that I wanted to drink something refreshing because it is hot out.
Hot, yeah.
And for those who have the luxury of not living in Arizona, it's cooler today. And by cooler, I mean 4 degrees cooler in that it's a high of 114 today. And that's our high. Our low, I think, is 92. And so I decided to brew some peach green tea and I iced it.
Oh, yeah.
And then I put a little bit of agave syrup in there.
So that sounds delicious. Tasty. Yes, nice and refreshing.
Yeah. What are you drinking?
So this morning I went to Black Rock and I got a Mexican mocha.
Ooh, you do like your Mexican mochas.
I do like my Mexican mochas, yeah. And then right now I made myself a little at-home iced chai.
Ooh, yum.
Spicy iced
I was thinking about that. But then I decided to go the green route. I was like, oh, you know what? I want to make green.
It sounds more refreshing, the green agave.
Right?
Mm-hmm. So let's go ahead and get into it. So today's episode, we are recapping Whip It, directed by the very famous Drew Barrymore,
who I love very dearly.
Do you watch her show that she hosts?
No.
No. Okay. I watch like little snippets of her interviews and it's so good. She's so entertaining.
Yeah. I like follow her on Instagram and so that's how I take in her show. But that's about it.
Yeah. I don't even know where you would go to watch it. Like I don't know where it's available. Yeah.
I think that's the thing.
Snippets.
No idea where to find these shows anymore.
I don't either. Anyways, so typically we give a little background info, but I mean, Drew Barrymore's Drew Barrymore. She's very well known and she's been very open about her past hardships and whatnot that we don't really need to get into this, but just like a few little things. So she was born February 22nd of 75.
Oh, wait, hold on. So is she like a day younger than your mom?
She's a year younger. So my mom, I know, I was about to do a shout out. My mom's birthday is also February 22nd, but my mom is 76. And so she was born in 75. Isn't that awesome? And so she's a Pisces. I know, right?
What a cool person to have a celebrity birthday with.
I know. I don't want to look up who I'd share one with because I have a feeling I wouldn't like it.
I know Jennifer Aniston is one of mine.
Oh, really? Okay, that's not a bad one.
No, I'm very happy with that one.
I know. I like that. Love it, love it. So she was born in Culver City, California, to actors John Drew and Jade Barrymore. Her freaking godfather is Steven Spielberg.
That makes sense.
So her debut role, just 4 years old, was in the 1980s Altered States movie. And then right afterwards is when she started her breakout role, E.T., at age 7.
Okay. Quick question. What was your first experience with E.T.?
I didn't care for it. Okay. I feel like I only watched it because of my cousins. I feel like that's the only time. I can see that being a movie they like.
I watched E.T. as a very small child, like you're supposed to, I suppose. But it, like, E.T., the actual alien of E.T., scared the shit out of me. Like, I had nightmares of E.T. for years.
I heard it scared a lot of people, which makes sense because it's not, like, cute.
It's a freaky looking dude.
It's creepy looking. Yeah, exactly. So I'm guessing you weren't a fan then, since you were...
Oh, I liked it. I was just scared by him.
Okay. That's awesome. So let's see. Drew has a total of, as of now, 81 acting credits and 27 producing credits, with Whip It being her directorial debut. And she also has a production company called Flower Films, which was founded in 1995, which of course worked on many of her own films. Are you reading ahead, Kenzie?
I am a little bit.
So some of the films that Flower Films worked on were 50 First Dates, Ever After, the Charlie's Angels movies, and many more.
Basically 3 of my favorite Drew Barrymore movies.
Oh, really? I just picked random ones. I knew you loved Ever After. That's why I stuck that one in. And then just like a random little facto about her, she is allergic to garlic, bee stings, perfume, and coffee.
Oh, no.
It is. It is really sad.
I did a little bit of perusing, and as it turns out, like 1,000 TikTok stars and YouTube stars share your same birthday.
TikTok stars? That means nothing to me.
I know.
Wait, does that mean they have a unique birthday?
I guess.
Not. No.
Klay Thompson, if anybody's into basketball, he's somebody. James Dean. Okay, James Dean is somebody who shares your birthday.
Okay, not bad.
So I know that you're a Swiftie, so I know that he's very popular in one of her songs. So
I was gonna pretend like I knew who he was outside of the Taylor Swift song. But no, you caught me. That was the first thing that came to mind. Was Style by Taylor Swift.
I know you pretty well.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you for that. Alrighty, so getting into the cast, starring Elliot Page and, of course, Drew Barrymore. We've also got Kristen Wiig, Juliette Lewis. Let's see, Aaliyah, is it Shawkat?
Your guess is as good as mine.
We also got Marcia Gay Harden. We've got Jimmy Fallon in here.
I know. I was like, his face is so familiar. Why do I know his face? And then when he put up the cast, I was like, oh, that's why I know his face.
Oh gosh, I always forget like that he was an actual actor before he was a night show host. Yeah. We also got Mr. Daniel Stern, which when I saw his photo, I'm like, oh, the bad guy from Home Alone.
It made me so happy.
I know. We've got rapper Eve. Like, this is a fun cast.
So good.
I know. And then a little fun fact about the cast, Eulalia Sheil, who plays Elliot Page's little sister, is actually the real-life daughter of Marcia Gay Harden, which plays their mom. So that's cool.
That's so cool. I do also want to point out, so Landon Pig, he actually is a musician. So he does the really popular song "Falling in Love in a Coffee Shop," and I absolutely adore that song.
Really? Oh
yeah.
my gosh, I remember that song.
Mm-hmm. We used to hear it all the time in Starbucks.
Yeah, it was on the playlist, the Starbucks playlist. Oh my gosh,
yes,
how
there's
cool.
a chance that I've fallen quite hard over you.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. Such
So
a good
cool.
song. But that's the only song I know by him.
Oh yeah, I didn't even know he was a musician, but that's the only song I would know.
I know when I saw his name, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Is this the same guy?" And then I went and I looked him up. I was like, "It's the same guy."
That is awesome. Yay. Alrighty. Do you want to go ahead and get into the 10 out of 10?
Let's do it. All right. So the 10 out of 10, an inspiring and outstanding film. This is a must-see. This is probably my favorite movie of 2009 and definitely one of my favorites. This movie is so fun, touching, and honest that it would make you want to see it over and over again. Elliot Page keeps showing their stellar talent. I seriously think that this is even better than their role in Juno. It's just so real and heartbreaking. Kudos for them. Also, for Drew Barrymore, because she decides not to direct a Hollywood Esquire movie and chose this one. Everyone from this cast did a great job. This is definitely a must-see.
Alrighty, I'll go ahead and do the 1 out of 10, titled Sorry, Drew.
So much sass.
I know. So every time an actor or actress directs their first movie, they fail, except for Ben Affleck. What's wrong with this film? It's just another cliched sports movie. Ellen Page is the same sarcastic character she always is, and Zoe Bell can't act. However, it was nice to see Drew play a different character than the one she usually plays. In this film, she plays a wild woman who is all brawn but no brain. And for the 100th time, we see the friends fall out cliche. Or we've seen the friends fall out cliche. Okay.
I think it's really funny that they chose to pick on Zoe Bell when Zoe Bell maybe has like 2 minutes of screen time.
I know. I was like, I don't even feel like that's a main character. Like,
no, not really. Okay. I was like, what a weird person to choose.
You were clearly but at least there was like a little, like a mini compliment in there. It wasn't all bad.
Yeah. However, it's kind of more like a backhanded compliment. It's like, look at you trying to play all bronze and no brains.
Yeah. Look at you playing a dum-dum. Okay. Shall we get into the notes?
Let's do it.
So we open to backstage at a beauty pageant where girls are getting ready, and they're all getting ready in front of these vanities. Also, I wanted to point out, not a single colored person is in this pageant.
Very astute observation.
So then we flash to Bliss, who's played by Elliot, and Pash, who is played by Aaliyah, her BFF, in a bathroom trying to rinse blue dye out of Bliss's hair. We see Bliss's mom, played by Marcia. She's waiting, it looks like in a lobby at this pageant amongst other moms. And the girls go on stage and they're asked if they could have dinner with anyone, who would it be? So we get answers like God, grandfather, etc. And then Bliss walks in with this vibrant blue hair. And she says that she would choose Amelia Earhart. And so, of course, her mom sees this blue hair and just glares at her. What I love about the hairstyle she chose to go with is that obviously, she's trying to hide, she doesn't want blue hair. I just find it funny that she picked a hairstyle that emphasizes the blue a lot. It's sticking out like a peacock. I'm like, couldn't she have done maybe a low, elegant bun? I feel like it would have hidden it more.
It was my impression that they were putting the blue in, not taking it out.
Oh, I thought it was taking it out because it says that she mentioned that the box said it was temporary dye.
Oh.
So that's why I thought she was taking it.
That's so weird.
Oh, I can see that. She's trying to make a statement, maybe. Is that what you
That's what I thought. Could go either way, but I just felt like it was so bright for temporary dye.
Oh, yeah. And for probably one Passover. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. Movie magic.
Movie magic.
And then, So the pageant is over and they're in the parking lot heading to the car. We see Bliss's little sister's with them, who is played by Shania. And she is holding this giant trophy that's like the same size of her. So we're assuming that she participated in some sort of pageant as well. And clearly she won. They go home and they're greeted by their dad, played by Daniel S., the Mr. Home Alone guy. He like cheers on his daughter that won. He's like, oh, you're unstoppable. No one can beat you. And then he says to Bliss, like, he's like, had I known what you were up to, I would have bought a ticket. And
Marisha Gay Harden's like, way to go with your parenting skills there. He's like, oh, the response. Hold on, let me scold you.
Yeah. So Bliss and Pash work at a diner with their buddy Birdman in Bodine, Texas, which is actually a fictional town.
That's good to know.
It's supposed to be a very small town. When these jockey-looking kids come in, including a girl named Corby, who actually won the pageant. And it's kind of implied there's like bad blood there.
So are you just singing Taylor Swift's Bad Blood the entire time when you say that?
I am. So she waits on them and they end up ordering something called a squealer. This is Cordy's boyfriend. And apparently if you eat it in less than 3 minutes, you get it for free. And it is I don't even know what it is. It's some sort of sandwich with some sort of meat that's like the size of your head.
I want to say it's like a 9-inch like pie-sized sandwich.
Pulled pork, maybe?
Must be.
Along those lines.
Probably like 6 inches deep.
Yeah.
So like.
That's what she said. I'm just kidding.
And remember, you got to finish that in 3 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. Oh, no. But yeah, so that happens. So Bliss's mom at home, she comes in and she suggests that they go shopping in Austin. And she's wearing like a postal office uniform. So that is her job. I lost my train of thought there. I'm like, her what? So she takes.
Well, and she's also,
like,
she's a postwoman who doesn't have a truck. She walks it across the neighborhood.
Oh, yeah. Later on, we catch a glimpse of her at work. And she's like, it's like, I don't even know what it is. Like, it's like some sort of cart, but it's not a cart.
Yeah, it's like a pulley cart.
Yeah. That she uses. Well, it's such a small town that maybe apparently it's walkable.
Must be. But it's also Texas. We've also discussed already. It gets hot there, too.
Oh, yeah. Some parts of Texas get cold, though. So,
yeah, in winter.
Yeah. Well, the summer's
not in summer.
Terrible, hopefully. Who knows?
I remain skeptical.
And so she takes the girls shopping in Austin, and Bliss takes them to this head shop, is what it is referred to as, for some rocker-looking boots. So as they're going to pay for the boots, her mom confuses these bongs for vases.
She's like, what cute little faces.
I know. And then, of course, the counter people, they make fun of her. I just feel like it was so rude. I know. It was so mean. Anyways, she gets embarrassed and she takes her card back. She's like, never mind, I'm not purchasing from you, which I don't blame her.
I think if they had not made fun of her, which, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anybody make fun of somebody for not knowing what a bong is. But had they not made fun of her, I don't think that she would have not bought the boots there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyways, so she calls, is his name Earl? Bliss's dad. I don't know why, but Earl sounds right. It just sounds
it is right.
Like a Texan dad name. Okay, calls Earl her
it's
dad.
very the chicks. Earl's gotta die.
She calls Earl and is like, tell your daughter that your daughter brought me to this head shop. Talk some sense into her.
No, and he gets a kick out of it.
Yeah, he does.
He thinks it's the most hilarious thing.
Yes. There are very few scenes that he is in where he is not watching some sort of sports game. So every time he's caught in the middle of a sports game. So he's basically just like, work it out amongst yourselves.
I think I might have married Earl.
That's not true. Every time I go over, he's usually at his computer.
Yeah, but that's because Earl didn't have a computer.
Oh, yeah.
And don't get me wrong, he's not watching baseball right now because there's no baseball to watch.
Wait, what is he watching then?
Well, now he's playing something. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. That's funny. Kenzie just had a moment of realization.
I did. I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. So while she's discussing with Earl, she decides to buy the boots anyways with her own cash. And she sees these women come in rollerblading, and Bliss is just mesmerized by them. So they come in and put down these pamphlets for a roller derby. And on the way out, Bliss takes one.
What a name, by the way. Bliss.
And Pash.
And Pash. I don't even know what to do with Pash. Like, it's so over my head. I don't know what to do with that.
And then later on, we find out that Bliss's nickname is Blister.
Which makes me laugh.
What the fudge? Who wants to? I'm like, oh,
Blister in
lovely.
the sun. Oh, man.
And then Pash, I'm like, it must be short for something, but what? I'm like, Patricia?
I can't think of.
I don't know. But
that's a stretch. Pashmina. That's all I got.
It is. It's pretty, but I don't know. Yeah. These names are out there.
Yes. I don't know where they got them.
So Pash ends up finding the roller derby flyer inside of Bliss's backpack. They decide to attend this roller derby game in Austin. And they're able to do so because they convince Bliss's parents that they're going to go to a football game. And I felt so bad for Earl.
So sweet. Because Earl's like, oh, you want to go watch football? Let's go watch football. I'll go with you.
He got so excited.
He was so excited.
I know.
And then her mom's like, oh, just let the girls go by themselves.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, I guess.
Okay, I know. So they attend this roller derby game where Hot Johnny, played by Jimmy Fallon, is the host. This man
with some ice tip. He's got some highlights in like nobody's business.
Oh Lord, yep. He is a character in this movie. So he announces the players of the Hurl Scouts, including Captain Maggie Mayhem, played by Kristen Wiig. There's Bloody Holly. There's Rosa Sparks, played by Eve. And then we've got Smashley Simpson, played by Drew.
These are the most amazing names I've ever heard. Like the names that are in this movie, they're so good.
Right?
All right,
also, oh, go ahead.
If you had a derby name,
oh no,
do you think you can think of it?
Probably not. No, you go. What would yours be? I didn't even think that.
You know, and I've been wondering this, and I don't think I've thought of it. Trying to think of what makes me hardcore. So my friend Bethany, shout out to Bethany, she actually is joining a derby league.
What?
And so, yeah, my friend Bethany is joining the derby
so
league.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so we were talking about it, and like I've always been somewhat interested in derby, but I can barely skate at all. But we were trying to figure out what her derby name should be, and then Richard came up with Registered Nightmare because she's an RN.
Oh my gosh. That's so cool.
So you and I should continue to brainstorm as we continue these notes, and maybe we'll think of something by the end.
Right? We'll see.
Fingers crossed.
All right. So Hot Johnny also mentions that the Hurl Scouts have come in last the last 3 years running. So they suck. They never win. Also announced is the opposing team, the Holy Rollers, and their captain, Iron Maven, who is played by Juliette Lewis.
She's great in this.
She is. She's so badass. Like, she doesn't even need to say anything. She looks so cool. So Iron Maven kicks ass, and the Hurl Scouts, surprise, surprise, lose. After the game, Bliss visits the Hurl Scouts booth, and she tells them that they are her new heroes. So cute. Maggie Mayhem tells them that she should come to tryouts on Tuesday. And she confirms that she's 21 because that is the age you have to be in order to play. That's when Bliss says that she's 22, actually, because it's more believable.
Which, by the way, at this time, Elliot Page looks like they might be 14 at most. Like,
they look like babies. Yeah. This scene
babies.
reminded me of, oh my gosh, what is that movie with McLovin? Superbad? Wait, you haven't seen Superbad?
No.
Is he? Not acceptable.
It didn't look good to me.
Oh my goodness. Anyways, this scene with McLovin, and he goes and gets a fake ID. And he like says he's 25 or something. And he's like, it's more believable. Like,
I can rent a car.
I can't believe it. You need to watch Superbad.
All right, we'll remedy that too.
So Pash tells her that she's not really going to try out because those girls, they are hardcore tough, and she does not have the balls. Which I hate that expression. Like, balls are so
I know. Weak. I love Betty White's expression. Balls are fragile. Vaginas can take a beating.
Right? The actual expression should be, you don't have the vagina.
Right. For sure. You don't have the vag for this.
You know the badge. So at home, Bliss digs out her old Barbie rollerblades and gets to practicing. And then we see it's a new day, and her mom are at what looks like a tailor/dress shop, fitting her for a new pageant dress. So I thought that, like, that dress did not look complete. Like, it is
right,
very
the whole
bland
dress.
And plain. I thought that it was the slip, honestly.
Right. I thought it was the base of the dress.
Right?
I thought they were going to add more to it.
I thought so too, but nope, we were wrong.
And it looks, I
mean, she's
like
beautiful.
Elliot Page, I really, really do.
Yeah.
But I hate this dress on them.
That dress, yeah.
It's not doing them any favors.
Nope, it's not.
It does look, so spoiler alert, when Bliss gives the dress to one of the other contestants, I can't remember her name, I think it's Amber.
Yeah,
it actually looks really good on Amber, but Amber actually fills it out better.
Yes. Bliss is very petite in this movie. Yes.
Very petite.
So, on her way to tryouts, she catches a bingo bus full of the elderly to Austin to attend tryouts.
This is so cute, though, because she makes really good friends with an elderly woman who's always on this bus, and she has blue hair. And she's like, I like your hair.
Yeah.
She's like, thanks. I do it myself.
It was so very cute.
I hope to be that woman in my like 60s or whatever. Like I have this vision of who I am in my like 60s, and I'm going to have like dyed whitish hair. I'm going to have my like lacy, flowy clothes. I'm going to have big ass hats. I'm going to have sunglasses for days, and I'm going to sit on like a beach or outside in like some kind of forest, and I'm just going to sit and I'm going to drink tea and I'm just going to take in the wilderness around me if there's any left.
If there's any left. Yeah.
If there's any left.
Yes.
Yeah. I've got like another 30 years. And so by that time we will hit 2050. And so if there's any left, because who knows?
We really don't. But I can picture that, Kenzie, for sure.
It's going to be great if it exists.
Yeah. So Bliss arrives to the tryouts, and all of the girls that are there, they look hardcore. And we come across these two who ask each other what their derby names are. And one of them is like Pocket Rocket. And the other one is just like Jabba the Slut.
Oh, I love it so much.
Okay.
And then she almost turns around too.
Oh, does she? I didn't catch that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bliss almost turns around, and then Kristen Wiig comes up, and she's like, "Oh, you made it!" Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
So the captain of the team, I forgot to put his name here. What is Razor?
Razor. Mm-hmm.
He's going over the rules with all the girls, and they start their tryouts, and everyone is just eating shit. Like
for days.
For days. It's
for days
nonstop.
and days
and days. Yeah. But somehow Bliss manages to impress everybody with a 23-second lap time.
Even though Bliss definitely ate their own amount of shit. Like,
oh, yeah.
Every fifth lap definitely like biffed it so hard, ran into the railings, tripped over the girls, got hit in the ribs, like so many pratfalls.
It makes sense though. Like it's a part of the it's a part of the experience, because even the people that are on the team that are really good, at some point everyone eats shit.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think
they got to learn how to take it.
During the tryouts, Razor says, all right, girl, somebody's got to throw a hit or something like that. And Iron Maven's there, and she throws a hit to Drew Barrymore, and she breaks her nose, and Drew Barrymore is like her nose is bleeding. And then she says, is it okay? Is it okay? And everybody's like, yeah, no, it's great.
Oh yeah. I think that was one of the sisters.
Was it one of the?
Yeah, because he's like, that
sisters is deaf.
Yeah, he's like, that move's gonna get you kicked out of here, and she's like,
you're right.
And then she signs, and then he's like, oh,
you're right.
Like, sorry, but I like the aggression.
You're right. But yes, so that does happen.
Yep. And then after tryouts are done, Iron Maven is she's clearly very threatened by Bliss's speed. And in the locker room, she shoves her in a locker. That just goes to show you how petite she is. She fits in a locker.
No, legit just fits straight into a locker.
Like, she didn't have to maneuver nothing. She just slid on right in there.
That's that is what when,
yeah. As I was saying it, I'm like, oh, I'm setting myself up. And then Razor comes in. He's kind enough to let her out. And
then shoves her back in.
Yeah, shoves her back in. And then after that, he lets her know that she made the team. So we get a montage of Bliss has to rearrange her work schedule. We get some practices in there. And she tells her parents that she's signing up for an SAT class. So that way she has an excuse to go to the practices and games. That's when Dad says, I like smart girls. That's why I married your mama. That, and I knocked her up. I love Elliot Page's reaction there, because she's just like, how do I respond to that?
That is a very true response.
It's very honest. So during one of the practices, Bliss gets knocked the F out, and the teacher, Razor, kind of goes off on her, and he's like, WTF, like, this is a contact sport. At some point, there's got to be contact. That's when she says that she's got to be more ruthless, and that is where she gets the name Babe Ruthless.
So funny.
These names, I love them so much.
They're so good. I don't know who the writer was, but they had some really good fun just coming up with these names.
Yeah, they did. And that is when Maggie tells her that she needs to think that, personally, she thinks about her ex before every game. She's like, a little bit of advice. Don't fall for the regional manager and think that he's not going to give you crabs because he cheated on you. Because it happens. And she says that
Very
that makes
advice.
her, right? Very solid advice. And she said that makes her really want to hit someone. So it gets her all riled up for the games.
Just thinking about that special shampoo.
Yeah. She's like, have you ever had crabs? She's like, no. She's like, okay. She's like, my doctor said it was common, but.
And that very classic Kristen Wiig, like, dead serious, but.
She's so funny. Like, so effortlessly funny.
Mm-hmm. Love her so much.
So it is Bliss's first game day. We got poor Razor over here trying to convince them to use his game plans because nobody listens to him. Choo-choo-choo. Shocker, they ended up losing, but Bliss actually scored 4 points at the end. I think
They're
I love
like,
the beginning.
We're number two. We're number two.
He's like, there's only 2 players. Like,
he's like, you're number 2 out of 2.
Yeah, Great job, ladies. And after the game, Bliss and Pash get invited to a party, which is Hot Johnny's hot tub party.
So I have a random observation, if you will, at this hot tub party. So at the hot tub party, inside the hot tub, we see Eve, who's playing Rosa Sparks, and Eva Distraction. How funny there. Played by Ari Graynor. And is it just me, or were you picking up on some vibes between them?
Some L vibes? I was a little.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Because I was like definitely picking up some vibes on them, especially when Eva Distraction went to Rosa Sparks and she's like, I could show you some moves. And I was like, okay.
I didn't catch that part, but
I was like, that I am picking up on some vibes happening here. Yes. And then, of course, Johnny, being Jimmy Fallon, is coming in. He's like, okay, I'm going to get into the hot tub. But they've already established that the rule is that hot tub Johnny is not allowed inside the hot tub.
Hot tub Johnny is not allowed in his own hot tub. Oh, no. So this entire time at these games, Bliss has had her eye on like this rando guy that kind of just keeps appearing. They've never talked up until this party. So we've got boy crush Oliver, who looks like he's a lead singer in a band. Mm-hmm. Bliss makes her way to what looks like an attic, and Oliver joins and they get to talking. He finds out where she lives. They're interrupted by Liz, and he's like, what are you doing in 5 minutes? And she's like, nothing. So I guess they planned on meeting up. But that is when, I was like, oink joint, what's that? And he asks, he's like, so what do you do? And with a straight face, I don't know how she does it, but she's like, I work at the oink joint.
I'm not even sure if I can say that straight in a sentence. I'd have to pause and like put it like a period in between oink joint in order to say it properly.
It's a tongue twister. Oink joint. Yeah, you could not say it 5 times fast in a row.
No. Oh my gosh.
Iron Maven finds her alone with a group of other girls, and they pick her up like this light little feather she is. I know. And they throw her in a hot tub. So she freaks out. She goes into a bathroom where she finds Pash drunk making out with some guy. And my favorite part is when she's like, just stick your fingers in your mouth. Like, you need to puke. And she's like, no, I don't want to. And then she starts giving like a very descriptive, like describing her parents having sex, specifically her father's balls, like all sweaty. She's like, no, that's not fair. And then she vomits.
And then what's even better is the dude that she's making out with is not phased at all. He's just hanging out, just waiting. Mm-hmm. And then Bliss is like, can you go get a towel? And he's like, oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. He's like, sure, I'll do that. And then he just dips. So the next day, Bliss and her mom attend a blue bonnet brunch. While looking at an old photo of Bliss's mom, Brooke, as Ms. Bluebonnet of 81, her mom tells her that there are not many girls who are both smart and pretty like her, but that the pretty part does not last forever. Bliss tells her that she's still really beautiful, in which her mom responds with, save your sarcasm for later.
That's so sad.
I know. My heart.
My soul.
My soul.
My heart. My soul.
She asks Bliss about her inspiration speech. She tells her that she's still working on it. And while she's at work at the oink joint, Oliver pays her a visit.
I do have to comment for a quick second. Oliver has the worst hair I've ever seen on a guy.
I don't personally find him attractive. So
I don't find him attractive either.
Yeah.
But that hair's not doing any favors for him.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. It's like, it's it's straight, but it's slicked down. It's just like attached to his scalp essentially and his neck and flares out at his shoulders, but it doesn't ever have any volume to it. It just is attached. Are you okay?
Excuse me.
Don't die.
I'm trying not to. Sorry, I was taking a drink.
Dangerous game.
I know, especially because it has cinnamon. Oh no! I was drinking and then for whatever reason, like I breathed in while I was drinking, and it was choked on the cinnamon.
Oh no!
Anyways, I'm so sorry. So Oliver has very bad hair.
He's got very bad hair, and it's got absolutely no volume to it whatsoever.
Also, they never share like how old these people are.
I know.
So we know that these girls are underage, but it's like,
right.
But they don't know that. I'm like,
well, we know for sure that Bliss is 17.
Yes.
We do find that out.
Mm-hmm.
They're still in high school. Don't know how old Oliver is, but I'm assuming he's at least over 21 because he is legally able to get alcohol.
Yes.
Which is be a little problematic. And by a little,
just a wee bit. Just a lot of it.
Just a wee bit.
Oh no. So of course she makes Pash cover for her at work, and she runs off with Oliver. I'm not impressed with his date. He could do a lot.
Not in the slightest.
They go and play like paintball.
I'm not impressed with his hair. I'm not impressed with his date.
And like, yeah, they play ping-pong, and then they end up going to like some random field. He loses his keys.
Well, the field was Bliss's idea.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Because pinball was his idea. And then Bliss is like, oh, so this is where you take all the girls. Let me show you someplace else then. And so the field was Bliss's idea. But yes, then he does lose his keys.
Mm-hmm. And then when they find them, he tosses them. He thinks it's cute. I didn't. I wasn't impressed.
I think that's supposed to be his way of saying, I'd like to spend more time with you.
I like you, but let me force it on you. Because I'm your only ride.
Right. You're going to be stranded here.
Jerk.
And
I know.
It's 2009. Cell phones are barely reliable at this time.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So then the Girl Scouts play another game, and they actually almost win. And then they start realizing that Razor's play actually kind of work. So the girls are at school, and apparently Corby puts like these Barbies in Bliss's locker that are like supposed to be like scissoring, or I'm not sure. It was interesting. Not interesting. It was weird.
It was really funny because Bliss says, look, they got your freckles right.
Oh yeah. She's like, yeah, that they did.
So what I really don't understand is, like, supposedly Bliss and Corby had like a friendship growing up, but we really don't understand any of their dynamics other than the fact that Corby is supposed to be popular and she is like a bully to Bliss.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Really all
we don't understand why. We don't understand what the motivation is. We don't understand, like, what is it about Bliss that she's trying to like bully? Like, most of the time,
we never get those answers.
Something. Yeah.
Nope.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
So that is the one flaw that I find with this movie.
True.
There's not enough like character development with Corby and the meatheads.
No, they don't get it, unfortunately.
I'd rather they just not be there because I don't think that they're necessary.
Right? There really is no need.
There's no need for them. Yeah. She could just be another contestant like all the other contestants at the pageants and never have to have any other interactions with her. And that would be fine because that's about as much detail that has been put in with her character.
Yeah.
Did that thought process make any sense?
I think it did.
Okay.
But also because I was having the same thought in my head. So I don't know if we were able to verbally express it well enough, but I see what you're saying. I feel like if you've seen this movie, it'll make sense.
So watch the movie for sure, if you haven't already.
Then you'll understand what Let's see. So they find Corby. She's like sitting on a rail, and Bliss just goes and knocks her on her ass.
That part was hilarious, I will say.
It was. Mm-hmm. So they just walk away from that. Next game day, at one point, Razor's like, tells him to run play number 3. But he discovers that none of them have read any of his plays. There's like 10 of them. So that is when he pays the opposing team's coach to run his play to show them that his plays actually work.
I love how he does it too. He's like, here's $20 to run this play. If it doesn't work, or if you don't score at least 4 points or something like that, then here, I'll give you another 20.
You guys like, okay.
And you know how little money I have.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. So that is when, in that game is when we're introduced to the whip it move. And they finally win a game. And then we get...
I will say, also, sorry, I keep interrupting you.
No, you're good.
It took me so long to figure out why this movie was called Whip It until they were like, oh, and here's the Whip It.
Yeah.
Because I was, for the longest time, I was like, why is it called Whip It?
What is it?
And
yeah.
I was just like, are they going to play DEVO at one point in time? Like, are they going to play DEVO's Whip It? Like,
you're like waiting for it.
I am. It never showed up. It never shows up. That was some creative license that they didn't take, and I'm a little salty.
Maybe it was too expensive. Maybe it wasn't.
It probably was.
Yeah,
it's the only song DEVO's known for, so I wouldn't be surprised. But still, if you're gonna name your movie Whip It, you gotta have Whip It good, you know?
Yeah. Lost opportunity. That's okay. It's still good.
All right.
So moving on to another montage of Bliss and Oliver going on dates. And then Bliss and her parents get called into a meeting, finally. Her mom is just like totally appalled by this, and her dad is completely amused.
I feel like we're on the dad side.
Oh, yeah, we are. The principal at one point, she's like, she has a bruise. And she's like, what? A bruise? And I know, I think her mom's like, oh, and she has a cheerleading game or something like that. And she's like, wow, she's a real athlete for going through with it. And her dad just chuckles.
Yeah, he's getting a real hoot out of it.
Yeah, we're team dad on this one. So the Girl Scouts are finally winning games. They're on a winning streak. And on one of their dates, Oliver tells Bliss him and his brother's band will be going on tour, specifically for 34 days. It looks like maybe that night, Bliss finds her... I was very confused by the scene, but he finds her dad in his van in a parking lot. So, like, did she know he was there? Because...
I don't know.
I was really confused by it. So, yeah, because she thinks... Because the van is rocking. It's a rockin', and he's screaming out, oh yeah, baby, la da da da. So she thinks that her parents are in there doing it, but she finds that it's just him alone. So yeah, I was really confused. Like, if
he's like, what?
Yeah, because it looked like he was surprised that she was there too. So who knows? So I guess he tells her mom that he's working late. So I'm assuming so he can enjoy watching sports in peace, because that is what he's doing in there. He's drinking and watching some sort of sports.
I think it's so he can enjoy more sports than she thinks that he already enjoys.
Yeah.
So that way it's not so much like all you ever do is watch sports. Mm-hmm. And while you're home, you should spend at least some time here. But if he lies and says that he's working late and then instead is watching some sports, then at least some of the time that he's home, then he can dedicate time to his family as well as watch some sports that he already watches regularly.
That makes sense.
That's my
also
thought.
He watches sports at work as well, as we saw in one scene.
Yeah.
He's just
all of the sports
everywhere.
All the
everywhere.
time.
All the sports. She asks him why he feels the need, why he feels like he has to lie to her. And he tells her that you have to pick your battles with your mother. And that he thinks it's really nice of her to go along with this whole bluebonnet deal because it really means a lot to her mom. And at a team dinner, it looks like, Razor tells them that they only have one more game that they have to win in order to make it to the final, which is on November 12th. And at this team dinner, it's also announced that Bliss is the new poster girl. And a food fight ends up breaking out. How fun must that like be? Like if you're like on set that day and like your job is to just break out into a food fight, like, oh my gosh, what a blast.
I'm trying to decide. I feel like it's fun the first time, as long as you don't have to reshoot it.
I would imagine that's not a scene that they could reshoot multiple times. Like they were probably like, okay, guys, we only got one shot. Like,
I can't imagine having to reshoot a food fight scene because like by the second take, I would be done with it. I'd be like, my clothes, much like when we worked at Starbucks, my clothes smell like spoiled milk. Like,
right? Oh my God. I can't believe how much I stunk after my shifts at Starbucks.
Right. For sure.
Like, gross. I can't imagine rerunning or reshooting multiple running scenes.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Every time I see a running scene on a movie or TV, I'm like, oh my God, how many times did they have to do that? Are they exhausted? Like, I feel so bad.
I'm like, they don't even have to exercise. They got all their cardio in for the week.
Exactly. So at home, Bliss discovers on their calendar that the Blue Bonnet pageant is on the same exact day as the final, also on November 12th. They end up winning their next game, which does put them in in the final. And let's see. At the end of the game, the fire marshal and the police show up to evacuate the building. And at this point, Bliss ends up abandoning Pash to go look for Oliver. And while she's looking for him, she gets stopped by the police. He's like, you're out late and you're a bit far from home. And that's when she says that she's only 17. And it turns out that Iron Maiden is standing behind. She turns around and she has this devious look in her eye. She knows that Babe Ruthless is only 17. She has evil villain look in her eye.
Yeah, basically that. It's that skeeving look in your eye.
That what is that evil bald guy from The Simpsons? Mr. Burns.
From The Simpsons.
Did you watch The Simpsons?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yep. I'm trying to remember, like he had a catchphrase and I'm trying to remember what his catchphrase was, but that one.
I think.
Yep. That is exactly what her face looks like too.
It did, right?
Mm-hmm. She just was missing the finger action.
Yeah, she was.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. So Bliss finds Oliver and she ends up leaving with him. Meanwhile, Pash gets busted for having alcohol. And she's literally, poor girl's getting arrested. And freaking Bliss is out here running off with her boyfriend.
She doesn't even like say bye. She doesn't look for Pash.
She doesn't.
Nothing. I was like, homegirl, what you doing?
She does like a week. Oh, I need to find Pash. And that's it. And then she doesn't. I know. And they go to like a closed community pool and they spend the night together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very disappointed. The next morning.
I feel like the pool scene was too long.
It was very long. I fast forward through it.
Did you? You're much smarter than I am.
Long.
It was so long. I'm like, nobody can hold their breath that long. Seriously.
Exactly.
Not realistic.
It's not realistic at all. So the next morning, he drops her off at home. But before they say their goodbyes, she gives him her striper t-shirt and his jacket. Bliss walks inside and her parents are waiting, saying that they received a call from Pash's parents at 3 a.m. Her mom finds her poster and confronts her about the SAT class that she's been lying about. And they exchange some words. I wanted to mention something, but it's left my mind.
She calls her dad out for lying to her mom, and then she tells her mom to stop, pushing
this agenda down her throat. Yeah.
About and then like a 50s housewife and
And then the mom makes a comment. She's like, what kind of like jobs do you think those women get if people take them seriously? Or how do you think they even find boyfriends, et cetera, et cetera?
I felt a little attacked in that scenario because I'm like, I have lots of tattoos, thank you. And I have, because she specifically called out like, they're all tattooed and how do you think they find jobs and like have boyfriends? I'm like, I have like a master's degree and I have had a very successful job. I have a marriage. Like, what are you trying to say?
Excuse me, ma'am.
But I know that this was also 14 years ago. So
it was a while ago. Very different.
Although my dad also, when I started getting tattoos, I got one initially at the top of my forearm and he was very concerned about it. And now my dad has full forearm like tattoos. And I'm like,
I was about to say, doesn't your dad have tattoos?
Oh yeah. He's always had tattoos, but they were always coverable. And now within like the last 2 to 3 years, he now has them all up on his forearms and everything. And so I'm like, well, excuse me. Hi, Dad. Love you.
Right. I can't recall if I ever had a job or where they mentioned that like tattoos had to be covered, which I'm sure was a thing or were not deemed appropriate at work. So that makes sense for him.
Yeah.
So at work, Bliss is attempting to apologize to Pash. She ain't having it. And rightfully so. I do not blame her. That was a total douche move on Bliss. She ends up calling Maggie to pick her up to ask if she could stay with her. And that is when she discovers that Maggie actually has a little boy. So she's like, oh, so this is why she never goes out with them, because she always says, oh, I got to get to my man. Which was implied that she had like a man at home, I guess. But she's like, yep, this is him.
His name's Ethan?
Oh, I didn't know. Or is it Ryan? Too. He's just known as little boy to me.
Little man. He's little man.
He's the little man.
Little man.
They end up going back to the warehouse where Bliss runs into Maven, where she reveals that she knows that she's 17. And she kind of makes a spiel about how she didn't end up joining the team until she was 31, that she worked really hard for it. And I don't blame her for being upset that a child wants to join the team, because like when you're in high school, you're like at your peak fitness. Not always, but like essentially for most people goes downhill from there. So to like to have like the strength and the endurance of like a teenager, I feel like that's not really fair. So
I mean, technically it's kind of the same even if they're 21, honestly. Like it, your power and your stamina actually increases as you get into your young adulthood, just depending how well you take care of your body and how well you train it. So it all kind of depends. So even if the 21 age limit, the same, it would still basically be the same. So that's not really
like high school and college years is when you're like,
right.
True. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm not mad at what's her face. I get her point. Like, girl, she's like, girl, wait your turn. Like, you'll get there. Don't be selfish.
Still fair. Like, it can be a yes and. Like, she can still continue to train and still continue to improve their skills and improve their tactics. Like, so many people who make it into the Olympics train their entire lives to be in the Olympics, and they like, it's just, how can you not? The same thing with being a ballerina. Like, once you reach like 27, you're out. Like,
you're done.
That's a fake age, by the way. I don't know what the actual age is, but I know that like you have to basically have trained by the time that you were 6 in order to actually be a prima ballerina. And the same goes for like Olympic athletes. Like, you have to be in it and you have to be deemed good and worthy by the time that you were like 12. And then you have to train like an Olympic athlete every day or every week, all the way up and through high school, all the way up through college. And then you have to hope that you make it by the time you're like somewhere between 16 and 24. And then if you haven't made it to the Olympics by then, you've got like one chance.
Wild.
Mm-hmm.
Craziness. So Bliss ends up revealing to the team her real age. I don't know why I put her real time. Her real age.
I was wondering what that was. Her time of life.
Yes, her real time of life. So they tell her that she can still skate with them as long as she gets permission from her parents. Or at least one parent, I think they stated. One parent. And the next morning, as Maggie's dropping Bliss off at school, she tells her that she's being a little selfish with her mom and that she's lucky to have someone who cares that much about her. At school, Bliss logs on to a computer and goes to Oliver's band's website because she has yet to hear from him. She sees some photos of him, and in one of the photos, he's with a girl in her striper t-shirt. So, of course.
Which she's already tried to call him at least once previously. Mm-hmm. So the night that she left her folks' house and asked Maggie if she could stay with her, she called him. He didn't call her back. He didn't even answer the phone or anything. So she's already tried to call him.
I feel like he's ghosting her on this tour. Which that's me trying to stay relevant up to date with this bling.
I mean, you are much closer than I am, and you can at least pull it off. I got nothing. I got absolutely nothing.
So, of course, Bliss is devastated. She goes back home and is on the floor eating what looks like a casserole. That's my guess.
I wasn't sure if it was mac and cheese or lasagna. I was like, it's some kind of noodle dish in a casserole pan.
Yeah. Some sort of something. Her mom walks in and she asks her to please not judge her right now. Her mom sits next to her and she just says, whoever he is, he doesn't deserve her.
It was very sweet.
Bliss tells her that she gave him everything.
And she means everything.
Yeah, she's like, I mean everything. So her mom just gets up and gets a cigarette, starts smoking, and she's just like, that's a lot to process.
Did you have a moment like this when your mom found out that you eventually had sex?
Nope.
Good for you.
Wait. For you. Oh, God. Did you?
I had horrible moments when my parents found out. Really?
Both parents found out? Oh, well, that's the luxury of having...
I really wish it would have just been somebody lit a cigarette.
You're like, I wish it was more like this.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. So they have their little heart-to-heart moment, and Bliss tells her that she will still go ahead and do the Bluebonnet pageant. That is when her mom says, no, do not do it for me. Only do it for yourself. So she says, I will do it for myself. Her dad walks in, and she apologizes to him. Says, no worries, already forgotten.
That's so sweet. Her parents are so sweet.
And at work, Pash ends up forgiving her and tells Bliss that she got into some colleges and that she's decided on Columbia. They also burned Oliver's jacket. I remember I did have a boyfriend in high school where I had his hat, and I tried throwing his hat away because we broke up, and my grandmother dug the hat out of the trash and returned it to me. And she says, you don't throw this away. It's a good hat. It's like, what the heck? I was trying to have some closure, damn it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's so funny, but that kind of reminded me of that.
Do you think that's a cultural norm not coming over?
I don't know, but...
Oh my gosh. That's so funny.
Goodness.
She's like, why would you want to burn this hat? It's so useful.
Why would you want to get rid of it? I was like, oh my God.
Not knowing that it wasn't originally your hat.
I know. I never wore hats. I think I ended up throwing it away again, but I think I had to put it under other trash so she couldn't see it when she... But
oh my gosh.
So that was fun. They're at Bliss's house and they give her little sister the super hardcore, super cute makeover.
Goth makeup. It's amazing.
It is. And she's so sweet. She's like, he's like, Her dad walks in. He certainly did. Oh, also, at some point, Pash tells Bliss that she made out with Birdman. And that he's actually a really good kisser.
That part was so awkward when she made out with him, because I could tell that was what was going to happen.
Yeah. My favorite was the old man in the background, just watching.
And then she was like, nope, no more of that. Nope, done with that. And then she walked away and she's like, what am I doing? And then he was
just watches like, oh no. So Maggie calls Bliss to tell her that she has to be at the final. She's just figured out she needs to be there. And her dad, super adorable, goes online and visits the Girl Scouts website, and he sees videos of Bliss as Babe Ruthless playing, and he decides to pay the team a visit.
Now, is it just me, or is this very Bend It Like Beckham vibes?
Yes. When I finished it, I was like, this is very Bend It Like Beckham. And I'm sure other movies too. Oh, so it's pageant day, and Corgi, who does not have really any reason to be in this movie, walks backstage. Corgi? Did I call her a Corgi? Corby.
She is a Corgi. You're right. She is a Corgi. She's about as relevant as a Corgi in this movie.
Yeah.
Actually, it would be better if she was a Corgi. That would be about as relevant as her character is.
I would love that.
It would be more cute.
This movie is lacking dogs, so
it is.
I would like that.
It's lacking dog representation.
So very condescendingly, she wishes all the girls good luck. And also we see one of the girls there with like kind of like a lime green dress, who's just kind of implied that her
dress was pretty.
I thought it was beautiful too, but it's kind of implied that she doesn't have a pretty dress, and I don't know why.
I know. I can't figure it out.
I know. Yeah. So the Girl Scouts crash the pageant, and Bliss's dad pulls her mom aside to convince her to let Bliss play roller derby and to play in the final, which is that
She's
night.
Not happy about it.
No, she was not. Yeah, because she walks over, she makes her way to Bliss before he gets a chance. And she says, your dad is about to tell you that you can do the roller derby. She's like, I don't agree. And so, yeah, she ain't happy.
She's like, did you even want to do this for yourself? Were you doing this just for me? And Bliss is like, yeah.
She just doesn't say anything. She's like, well, good luck. And she just walks off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And her mom's a little upset too, because the dress apparently was like, was it $600 or $800? Like, that was the entire cost of my wedding dress.
$800 for that. $800 for any dress is insanity. But for that dress in particular?
That dress?
Why?
I had lace on my wedding dress, and my wedding dress cost that much. Like, what the fudge?
I don't understand. Anyways. But she ends up giving her dress
on my wedding dress.
You slept in your wedding dress?
No, I said I put sleeves on my wedding dress.
Oh, yeah, you did. I remember that.
And it cost that much.
That's crazy. Well, it was custom. I still don't get it, but anyways.
That's stupid. And that was in 2009.
I know. What would that dress cost now? Probably
too much.
Like $1,500. I don't know, but
that fabric better have been spun from the silk of silkworms that they harvested on their own, and they're organic and they're well fed. They're, I don't know, grass fed. Can silkworms be grass fed? I don't know.
Anyways,
but they better be the highest quality of silkworms.
It costs too dang much. That's all we know. Oh no. So the team heads over to the final, and Oliver is there. She confronts him, and he claimed that he literally said, "Oh, that girl got into the van and just put the shirt on." I'm sorry, sir. What? Like, what a lame, weak ass excuse. Like, anyway.
I always go into random vans and find a shirt and just put it on.
Oh, yeah. What girl doesn't go into a random van and steals people's clothes and makes it out alive.
That's the main point is making it out alive.
Yeah.
From what we learned from last week's episode of Jennifer's Body, you got to make it out alive.
Stupid. She kisses him goodbye, slaps him, and as she's walking away, she says, "My mom wants her t-shirt back."
At first, I was very confused. I was like, is she still trying to be with him? Like, I'm so confused. Why does she kiss him? What?
Yeah.
And yeah.
She's a kid. Who the hell knows?
Just whatever. But I'm glad that Bliss slapped him.
Me too. He deserved it.
Mm-hmm.
So Bliss's dad, her little sister, Pash, and Birdman, they all show up to support her. And later on in the game, we see her mom show up, and she's kind of standing in the side, like on the sidelines. So it ends up being a close call, but the holler rollers, the holy rollers, my typos, I swear, the holy rollers still end up winning the championship. But regardless, they celebrate a good game.
They were so close. So much closer than they ever had been.
Exactly. So that's something to celebrate still. After the game, her dad tells her that he's seen some ball games in his time, but that this was way better. Bliss tells her mom that she's really glad that she came and that she wants to move to Austin to continue this, but that she needs to know that she accepts it. Her mom says that's going to be a hard one. The next day, Bliss's dress is returned to her by the girl that she gave it to, along with her inspiration speech that she left. And I will go ahead and read it in quote. Oh, wait, her mom reads it. I'm sorry. Her mom reads it, so. And it states, "The person I admire most is my mother because she's a fighter who never gives up on what she believes in, and she never gives up on me. Obviously, I would be delighted to win the Blue Bonnet pageant, but knowing my mother is proud of me means more than any crown." She has a little teary moment.
It was so sweet.
It was very sweet. Mm-hmm.
So sweet.
I love that she walked off dancing. And then we see, so earlier on at the beginning of the movie, or just throughout the movie, their neighbor who has like a son, I guess he's on some sort of sports team. And
he's
so
on football.
I'm guessing
because they're passing a football back and forth.
Yeah, let's go ahead and say that. He's always putting these little like picket signs with his son's number on it. And so her dad is very excited because he finally gets to do that. And enthusiastically, he's putting up his kid's sports number in his front yard. It was super cute.
It is.
And then we close on Bliss sitting alone on a giant pig on the roof of the pink joint.
Isn't that the oink joint?
Oh, wait. Oh, wait. On the oink joint.
Let it be known. Typos will ruin you.
Oh, my goodness. On the oink joint. Correction. The end. Yeah.
Oh, I just realized what my derby name will be. It's the easiest one, too.
What?
So when I was in high school, my trig teacher used to call me Mac Attack.
Oh, I like that one. That would be a good one.
Yeah. Super good. It just occurred to me.
I thought you were going to do something with like your username, like veggie, like veghead or something.
I feel like that will get twisted too easily.
Probably, yeah.
I'm just like, that's too easy.
Yeah.
Then I was looking at my painting behind me and I was like, what's something I can do with like Banshee? And then I was thinking about like tattoos and I was like, I don't know if I can do anything with that because there are lots of people that have tattoos. But yeah. And then I was thinking about something with ghosts and I'm just like, But then I was just like, oh yeah, Mac Attack. Duh.
There you go. Oh, fun. Love it. So in the credits, they show bloopers along with what looks like maybe like cut scenes because they don't all look like bloopers. But I just want to say, I wish more movies did this. I want to see all the bloopers.
I miss those.
I do miss those too. Those are so much fun.
Yeah.
So
just like in Charlie's Angels, some of my favorite bloopers.
Yes. I love the bloopers and View from the Top.
I don't know that one.
Starring Mark Ruffalo and what's her name? The health nut. Elitist health nut. What is her name?
Oh,
At least
Gwyneth
that's what people
Paltrow?
call her. Yep. Yeah, Gwyneth Paltrow. I used to love that movie so much, Kenzie.
So the only other movie that I know of them together is where Mark Ruffalo is a sex addict.
What movie is that?
Hold on, I gotta find it. It's a really random movie.
Oh.
I happened upon it by accident.
Oh, yeah. Oh my goodness. And they start together. The both of them star in it together?
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Never heard of it. So while you're looking that up, yes, it does pass the Bechdel test in the very first line too. So love that. Okay. I will go ahead and get into some trivia. So the Manson sisters were played by Rachel Piplica and Kristen Adolphi, also known as Iron Maiden and Christy Crash of the Los Angeles Dirty Dolls. So the pair skated for the Girl Scouts in the film, and in real life skate for the Tough Cookies, the team on which the Scouts were based on. Isn't that cute?
That is cute. All right, so I found the movie. It's called Thanks for Sharing.
Thanks for sharing.
Yep.
Okay,
Thanks
noted.
For sharing.
Is that like the whole premise of the movie, that he's a sex addict and do they fall for each other?
So it's also got Pink in it too. So it's got Alicia Moore, who's Pink. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Pink. And it's got Josh Gad and Tim Robbins, and it says it's a romantic comedy that brings together three disparate characters who are learning to face a challenging and often confusing world as they struggle together against a common demon, sex addiction. It's actually really sad of a movie, if I remember correctly.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, maybe I won't watch it. Oh. So, continued on with the trivia. So, Bliss lies about being 22 instead of 17, which was Elliot Page's actual age at the time. And later on in the film, Juliette Lewis, her character, Iron Maiden, tells Bliss that she's 36 years old, which was also the actual age of the actress. But it's crazy because actors never play characters that are their age. I know. It's either way older or way younger. So
I'm going to let Tiny in real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, I'm back.
Yay. And then, so apparently Elliot Page dropped out of the movie Drag Me to Hell, which was in 2009, to be in this film. Have you seen that movie?
I have. And I love that movie. It's so gross.
I liked that movie. I remember it was actually really good. I enjoyed that movie.
It was. I love Justin Long.
Oh yeah, the Jeepers Creeper guy.
But I'm trying to figure out, like, what role would Elliot Page have done in
I can't see her as the main character.
I can't either.
So because I looked up the movie and I'm like,
17.
Is that? I don't know.
I don't
know either. I guess. And so if you are a Bridesmaid fan, maybe you caught this. But while Paige and Kristen Wiig's character are chatting at the tryouts, the song Hold On by Wilson Phillips is playing. The song is also featured in Bridesmaids at the end, which was both written by and starred Kristen Wiig.
That's astonishing.
Oh, fun. So, Kenzie, what did you think of the movie? This wasn't your first time watching it, right?
I really enjoyed it. So, as it turns out, I had seen like the first half hour of the movie before, but that was about it.
Oh, so this is basically your first time.
But I really, really liked it. I think it's hilarious that neither of us are sports people, and yet we've done at least 3 or 4 different sports movies in the 20 movies that we've done so far.
Right.
So almost 20% to a quarter of them. But yeah, I really like it. I really like Derby. It's really inviting to me. Like, I really enjoy it. I think it's very fun. It's very aspirational to me.
It seems up your alley. Yeah, it seems like
right.
something you would enjoy.
I've always hated falling, even when I did martial arts. Like I hated falling. So
it's so scary. Well, I don't know many people who enjoy falling, so that's
there are some out there, I'm sure. Of
practical thing to be. I'm sure there are. Yeah.
But what do you think?
I love this movie too.
It's so fun.
I saw it when it came out, and it's so fun and quirky. And yeah, it's just adorable. I think one of the things I loved about this movie is like movies that try to have a feminist message and have like a feminist lead character. I felt like a lot of times when they had a character who was considered like an outcast, they had them like hating like traditional norms, like things that are considered like feminine, like such as beauty pageants or just like things that are girly in general. And I like that in this movie, they didn't do that. Like she could have easily like hated pageants and mocked the girls that were in them, but she didn't. Like it was simply just something that wasn't for her.
Right.
And so I feel like that's a true feminism.
Right. Yeah.
So,
and
I loved that.
Like she didn't put anybody else down for being in beauty pageants.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. So I love this movie. Definitely a recommend.
Highly recommend. It's very feel good. So we will be taking a break for the rest of August. However, we will be republishing our episodes with our phenomenal guests, such as Beth and Leah Bonema, Erica and Paul from the That Aged Well podcast, and Kevin from the Anhedonic Headphones podcast. And so we look forward to having you join us for those episodes once again. But until then, we will return to your ear holes on September 5th.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Caffeinated Flicks. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can follow us on Instagram at Caffeinated Flicks Pod or email us at caffeinatedflicks@gmail.com.
And just like every other podcast, we would love it if you could follow us in your podcasting app and give us a rating or review. Your feedback helps us get better. And if you're enjoying us so far, please tell a friend.
We'll catch you on the flick side.